another time, I was listening to the radio on the way to work, and man, I was so puzzled and confounded for about 15 minutes. I happened to tune in to this morning talk show, and they were discussing something I had never heard of. I didn't know anything about. So I really, really misunderstood what they were talking about. This was a few years ago when a condition known as Asperger's syndrome was first being discussed in the media. I believe so. How would you spell this? Asperger. Asperger, right? I guess someone's named after some guy that discovered it or whatever. And from what I understand, Asperger's syndrome is when a person mentally focuses on something that's not really important and all-consuming and becomes an obsession with the person to the point where they can't concentrate on other things. Ironically, I think I have at least a mild case of this. This sounds like something that I have. I mean, I can't be sure, but I at least have a mild case of it. Anyway, on this particular morning, when I first turned on the radio, this talk show host was discussing it with callers because it was in the news. Someone with this Asperger's syndrome had just done something. I think it was a child about 10 years old, had done something as a result of having Asperger's syndrome. The thing was, I had never heard of it, and I thought they were saying Asperger's, as in Asburgers, like burgers made out of ass. That's because I never heard of it, so I thought Asperger's. And this was a few years ago, and it wasn't even as bad as today, where nowadays you turn on the radio or TV, and the most mainstream networks, you hear people saying words like douche over and over and calling each other douchebags and all kinds of stuff they would never say before. All kinds of stupid, unnecessary stuff. Anyway, I digress. But I was a little surprised, and I thought, what is is McDonald's or Wendy's or something? They have something called an ass burger now? That's how bad it's gotten? That maybe they're making burgers out of the steer's, the cow's ass or something? And they kept saying, when discussing this, they kept saying Asperger's, Asperger's, Asperger's. So if you have Asperger's, and when Asperger's is when you have Asperger's, I'm like, this was so bizarre. I'm driving to work and I'm hearing people seriously discussing something called Asperger's. And it was quite some time, several days after that, when I actually saw it written out and found out exactly what the hell they were talking about. But I'll tell you, for that 15 minutes or so, it was a very surreal experience to hear people talking about Asperger's. Maybe it tells you something about how my mind works or something. I don't know. I'll probably never know.